r/askreddit, what made you want to quit your job? Serious? Need more money? Bullying? Micromanagement? This has got to be one of the most underrated issues people deal with. There is no quicker way to not only make me resent my job, but also fuel hostility in me. No matter how enthusiastic I am, the second micromanaging starts I am checked out. This is what is currently make me look for employment elsewhere. Wasn't properly trained and was constantly berated for making mistakes on things that my managers refused to train me on. The last straw was when we were forced to WFH and I couldn't even use the washroom without accusations of intentionally ignoring my manager. Too many dead people. I work in ER. Being tracked for my efficiency and barely making PAR, which was 90%, when I busted my ass completely. Was even more mad after I did quit and finding out they were lying and the average wasn't around 85 to 90%, it was 60. I don't even want to know what the average efficiency at my work is. From my observation, a lot of people end up working long days to meet the 90%. I know I have. My job wanted me to work more overtime so we can get projects done faster. The boss doesn't want to pay overtime as we are like a family in this company, thus we should work overtime for free. Being yelled at by people I am trying to help over things that aren't my fault and that I have no control over. People quit/were fired and not replaced. I ended up doing 2.5 people's jobs. Said something to management and got an empty promise, so I walked out in the middle of my shift. They complained that I was putting them in a tough spot because they didn't have another material handler. I told them it wasn't my problem. It felt awesome. Promising me PTO and me having it in writing and then not giving me PTO, and saying that the documents which I received were outdated. I was too smart and undervalued, so I quit and started going to college. Then a head injury occurred. Now I've got a TBI and am pretty dumb, but I make cool art now, so it works out. Damn bro, but still you gotta be proud of yourself. Keep going with your art. Okay, so that means traumatic brain injury apparently. God bless and keep at the art. Working 5+ days a week, 8+ hours a day. I feel like I could have achieved so much more if I wasn't spending all this time grinding for dollars. I saw a comment recently that said life is a terrible game, all that grinding for cash, for a short and crappy end game. It was a bait and switch, they lied about everything. I was interviewing for B jobs 3 days after starting. Incompetent and lazy co-workers. Found a help desk. I'm sort of on the same boat. There is this guy that keeps hiding in the bathroom when my workplace gets busy and nobody does anything about it ever. What's even better is being expected to do your lazy co-workers' jobs, even if they're in a different department. Having morals and ethics. Mean co-workers, openly mocking me, talking trash behind my back, and making me feel like I always bother them when I'm around, even in a corner of the room. Was amazed at my workplace that the middle school/high school mean girls hadn't grown up a bit by their 30s, 40s, 50s. Bullied one girl at work so bad she quit, then kept hacking her social media so often she deleted every platform. Of course HR was completely unhelpful because the mean girls were in HR. I had this happen too. It seriously messes you up. The best and worst thing about my workplace is the job security. I don't need to worry about suddenly being fired for some BS reason or even many legitimate reasons, poor performance for example. Unfortunately, this means that there's plenty of lazy people that just stick around. They know that they can put in minimum effort and just let everyone else, myself included, pick up the slack. Fortunately I got out of the office and found a WFH role where I just do my own work. My days are much less stressful now. CEO's son who didn't realize he was moving up fast due to nepotism, not hard work. Same with my brother quitting his job. Snotty stepson of the owner got made manager and thought that he deserved it for being so clever, rather than being daddy's special little man. Hearing this makes me gain more respect for my father for not letting me work for him. Burnout. When I woke up every day dreading going to work. Workload vs income. Every day was an uphill battle, and while I liked the people I worked with, there was no change in their ways or effort to grow after 5 years. My new job is a blessing and it'll never go back now that I've experienced how it should be. Supervisor accused me of stealing money, accused me of not doing my job/understanding my work, despite being there several years longer than they had, demanding I do the work of 3 to 4 people on top of my job, trying to force me to work on vacation, and claiming I was conspiring against her with another person we worked with. Found out I have ADHD and made me realize I'm not going to thrive in an office setting. Manager was a dick. Co-workers were lazy. Pay was crap. Schedule was brutal. Customers were rude. Spite, I did everything anyway. See how they did without me. My dad died and I suddenly didn't care about anyone else's mental health problems. I'm a teenager, my manager kept on trying to talk politics with me. Like I'm just trying to afford my gas man. Hostile Karens, co-worker screaming at me and the fact the work week was 6 days long. When people I trusted started turning on me to climb the corporate ladder. If you can't trust the people you work with, get out. It was absolutely soul-crushing. I had to get on antidepressants just to show up. Yeah. Finally snapped like a twig after 30 plus years in a toxic work environment. Had to go on medical leave for 6 months before I could collect early retirement at 55. I am broken. The near daily sexual harassment from my boss and the weaponized incompetence from my co-workers. I finally did tell them to take this job and shove it. Company received $2.5 million from the PPP and got it forgiven. Within a couple months the owners bought a house in the Florida Keys. This would be their 4th house. The company-wide meeting they announced that there was still a wage freeze. Fuck them. Bipolar swipe of a boss that administration refused to address his issues. The boss/upper management. Boss/management and may I also add co-workers into the dollar hit show. I quit my last job, retired early, when my boss took credit for my work to the head of the organization. She had provided almost no support or guidance, but when it turned to being recognized as a success, suddenly, it was her work. No fair, you took the top survey says answer.